You are in a situation with someone, it could be a relationship, situationship, it doesn't matter. You're in reference to another person and you feel trigger happy. You know, this person is triggering the living bejesus out of you. You know what I'm saying? Or if you have consistently heard or you tell your partner on a regular basis that there's secrecy, there's suspiciousness, there's a guard being put up. This feels a lot to me, maybe like a partnership where two people got back together. And maybe there was some sort of like cheating debacle or some sense of dishonesty or someone not being 100% forthright. Or a person who experienced this in the past, like in past relationships. Hey guys, Princess India here for the 99 and the 2000. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm never going to let that go, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just loving it too much. So here's the deal. So somewhere around here, you should see a video that's playing. And it's the video that I did of the shuffle. Like, oh, you know, it's Virgo season and we're talking about being more, you know, efficient and organized and saving time and things of the sort. So anywho, here's the thing. So this is one of my random, not so random readings, right? And it's a new spread that I want to introduce to you guys. And I didn't want to just throw it out there with all 12 signs. So what I did is I specified it by using the dice of resonance, my zodiac cards, and my initial cards. So if you fall into this category, this reading is for you. And if you guys like this reading and want me to open it up to all 12 signs and this be something that we do on a regular basis, then let me know in the comments below. So here's the point of the reading. I was inspired to do it this morning because Saturn goes direct on the 18th of this month, right? And we're dealing a lot with like karma. So what comes with karma, which is so wonderful, is like karmic relationships. So there's a lot of relationships people are in now where they're trying to figure out if this is someone I should stick with. Like, is this relationship worth saving? Can I save it? Like, is this just a karmic partner? Is this a lesson? Or is just, you know, this a lesson we're trying to learn together or what have you? So the purpose of this spread is to look at what things you're avoiding and what you're clinging to in your partnership, right? I don't know what part we are in this video up here, but the thing that I did that was different and why it is I showed you guys my table is because I shuffled the deck, but I didn't just shuffle it and dish out cards. What I did specifically is we shuffled the deck and then we searched through the cards. We found where the devil card was. All the cards that are in you guys' spread is behind the devil card. Loving you guys' response to these things. So anyway, since we're just like doing this, like whatever, like it's working. So first card that we have is the Seven of Wands in the reverse. Then we have the Emperor in the reverse. Then we have the Two of Pentacles. Then we have the Page of Wands. And then we have the Star card in the reverse. And then we have the Five of Wands, Petty LaBelle, in the reverse. So since that worked the first time, let's go with this. So how do you know that this reading is for you? Am I talking to you aside from the fact that I picked initials and I picked all of these signs? How you know that this situation that I'm speaking about is intended to resonate with you is if you are in a situation with someone, it could be a relationship, situationship, it doesn't matter. You're in reference to another person and you feel trigger happy. You know, this person is triggering the living bejesus out of you. You know what I'm saying? Or if you have consistently heard or you tell your partner on a regular basis that there's secrecy, there's suspiciousness, there's a guard being put up. This feels a lot to me, maybe like a partnership where two people got back together. And maybe there was some sort of like cheating debacle or some sense of dishonesty or someone not being 100% forthright. Or a person who experienced this in the past, like in past relationships. But the whole theme that I feel here looking at the Seven of Wands in the reverse in reference to the Devil card, because in case you didn't know what I was doing, I just relate the Devil card to all the cards that are here, but that's not there nor there. It's more or less we could say an addiction because Addiction is in essence a repetitive pattern of, choices, behaviors, responses to things. But the consistent pattern for the person that this would be for is either you or someone that you're with is always very suspicious, very on guard, someone who needs to be in control. And I would ideally want to say, just because, that a person wants to be in control in order to be safe, like needs to be in control in the relationship in order to be safe. I would only relate that if we're talking about you, because we really don't know why the other person controls if they're controlling. But it's just a consistent pattern and theme within the relationship of defensiveness, being closed off, or someone who's attempting to control the situation, right? So our Seven of Wands in reverse, we have that in the position of what it is that's being avoided. Now, the thing that's being avoided here, we can also look at this in two different ways. This is either a person who is avoiding the fact that either you are consistently on guard, like borderlining on hypervigilance, you know what I mean? Like, and that's where I say trigger happy, because it's a person who always expects the worst in a situation, and it would be not allowing oneself to see where this is showing up. Now, where this would be relevant to you if you find that people in your life or a person that you're in a relationship with tells you that, that you need to put your guards down, or you have your guards up a lot, or you're always kind of like jumping to thinking like worst case scenario, pessimism, cynicism, and things of the sort. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing that's being avoided. Now, the advice that needs to be taken in reference to this with the Emperor reverse is there needing to be more of a give and take, because what this feels like to me with the Emperor reverse and the Seven of Wands in reverse is a person who's afraid to invest. So it's more or less approaching relationships or a connection from a perspective of everything following a certain format, or that this person needs to lead the situation. I need to be in control of the situation. Relationships are supposed to be this particular way, and you're supposed to respond this particular way. It's like a very rigid kind of way of being. So there's a need to relinquish this, right? Because the whole thing that this is telling me with the Emperor reverse being under the Seven of Wands in so many words is saying the reason why there's a level of defensiveness and a need to control, or being what's the word I'm looking for? Is it uncompromising? I feel like it's another word for that, but whatever. But the whole purpose of why it is that a person is being extremely defensive or is hypervigilant is because of past pain and having like a very rigid approach to things, like almost being unrelenting, completely uncompromising, not wanting to see things any other way, is for the fear of being taken advantage of like one has been in the past. Now, this can be in reference to a past relationship, or this could be in reference to this relationship that you guys are in now, and this being based on a past situation or circumstance. But because this is more related to the person who's watching me and resonating with this, this is something that you would want to be cognizant of. Like, are you trying to dominate or control a situation out of fear? And do you find yourself always having your guards up with the person that you're dealing with? And this being something that's a constant conversation, so to speak. So the benefit of you guys putting your guard down, opening up your heart and taking a chance, you know what I'm saying? We got the Two of Pentacles here. So whatever kind of balance, stability, and security it is that you guys are trying to gain via this bad behavior. Well, I don't want to say bad behavior, but it's like it doesn't behoove you. Let me put it that way. I don't want to say bad, but there's a reason for this pattern of behavior being here, but it's just really not helping you. It's hurting you more than anything because it's keeping you very closed off, and it's preventing there being like an equal give and take of reciprocity in partnerships, right? Or this particular partnership, to be more specific. But with the Two of Pentacles, what this is saying to me, looking at all three of these in series with each other, it's more or less like with this whole Saturn energy and this whole cause and effect karma kind of energy, what this is bringing to light is because of some, and if I could say this more specific, because of some disappointment in the past, right? Whether it be with this relationship or relationships prior to this one, like being let down, disappointed, or taken advantage of by people, it's more or less to keep oneself safe. It's been an attempt to, you know, be like this, because that's literally the energy that I feel. It's just like, what you want? What you want, what you're here for, type of deal, right? So it's keeping someone's guards up. It's making sure you stay in control. It's making sure you don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed with emotions. We're going to keep our heart out of this. Like, you show your hand before I show mine, type of deal. And that's one's attempt to prevent themselves from being hurt the way that they were in the past. But the thing that I feel why this is coming up in this reading is more or less with this energy and us seeing like the cause and the effects of our actions, we have the opportunity to see where this isn't really helping us, and it's balancing it out so that we're able to have like boundaries established, you know, so we can let people in. I'm trying not to tell a story. I'm not going to tell the story. Okay, I'm going to tell the story. I tried not to tell stories in these. I was trying to make this quick. But anyway, so when we're talking about establishing healthy boundaries, there's 3 houses, right? There's one house that has no windows, no doors, no fence, and people can come in and out whenever they want. The second house is a house that has like a 10-foot fence. It's an electric fence. There's like bars and chains on the windows and doors, so the person who's inside can't come outside. Nobody outside can come inside. But then the third house has a fence that has a lock on it. They have windows and doors that have locks on it, and the person can choose who they want to allow in and when they don't want to allow anyone in, right? The house that symbolizes healthy boundaries is house number 3, right? House number 1 and house number 2 are both unhealthy boundaries, because house number 1, anybody can come in and out whenever they want. House number 2, no one can come in and you can't come out. So you want to have a balance between the two. That is the quickest I've ever told that story. So anyway, you want to have a balance between the two, and that's what that's saying to me with the 7 of Wands, the Emperor reverse, and the 2 of Pentacles. So there's not a doubt to me that there's a desire to let people into one's life. It's just that past influences or past letdowns are what are causing this person to be very, very on guard and not allow people in. And the purpose of this energy coming up is because this is a pattern of behavior, or an addictive behavior, so to speak. A maladaptive behavior would be the psychology word for it, because it served a purpose back then, but right now it's hurting more than it's helping, right? So that's more or less this person in relation to others. Now, when we look at the Page of Swords and we're talking about what it is that's being clung on to, this kind of proves my point of what I was saying over here, because these patterns of behaviors are rooted in a mindset. Because with the Page of Wands, the Page of Swords, we're looking at this more or less in the sense of like an idea or a concept or belief system or something along those lines, right? So it's clinging to an old perception of how a person you're dealing with was, or people that you've dealt with in the past, how they were, or an idea of how to approach relationships. But like I say, with the Devil card being the influence of all of these cards that are here, it's something that's not serving you, or it's something that worked at one particular point in your life, but it's hindering you more than anything now. The next card that we have is the Star and the reverse as far as our advice. And what this is saying in reference to this Page of Swords is there's a need to recalibrate or like reevaluate this idea that you guys are having of this person or this partnership or your own behavior. Because if you want to apply everything that I just said to, say, if you're not like hella defensive or needing to be in control, if there is a person you're dealing with that falls into that category or that pattern of behavior, what you guys would want to be doing leading up to Saturn going direct on Wednesday is really reevaluating where it is you're trying to go from here. You know, if it's a person that you guys are dealing with, or if you guys dealing with yourself are being uncompromising and completely unreasonable and very, very closed off, then now would be the time to really sit back and ask yourself, with my idea of where it is that I want to go in this partnership or with this person, is the way that things have been panning out, is this pattern of behavior going to birth what it is that I'm desiring? Or am I being completely unrealistic with the Star card by thinking that, you know, and I'm saying this 2 ways because I feel it 2 different ways. Hypothetically, if it's you guys that are very closed off because of past things that have happened, like, and this is hypothetical, if you dealt with someone who cheated on you and you guys got back together, and you find that you're being very guarded and suspicious and not really trusting what the person is saying, it's like, do you think that behaving this way is going to produce a healthy relationship that's balanced and secure and stable? Or on the other end, if you're dealing with a person who's emotionally closed off, that's very, very guarded, that won't let you in, that isn't emotionally available, do you think that trying to cultivate a relationship with a person like that is going to give you the type of relationship that you're desiring? You know, and it's being realistic about that, being realistic with yourself in reference to that, leading up into the Saturn going direct. Because like I say, we could say karma, but what we're really talking about in a very practical sense with karma is cause and effect. It's like, you know, if we look at it with the Two of Pentacles and very specific with this, it's like, if I put in all of the ingredients to bake bread, am I going to get a cake out of that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, is what you're doing realistic? Is what you're investing in going to give you the ultimate end that it is that you're fighting for, right? And then lastly, with the Petty LaBelle card, with the Five of Wands in reverse, with you guys taking the initiative to really explore this, whether it's your behavior or your partner's behavior. Oh my God, I'm so mad. I just got a phone call. But anyway, with this Five of Wands in the reverse, if you guys take this initiative with the Star card, because it's kind of like a crossroads situation, is needing to be kind of like what I said with the last reading, is needing to have a coming to Jesus moment with yourself, whether it's your behavior or the person that you're dealing with's behavior. You know what I mean? On, is this going to give me the result that I want, or am I being unrealistic, right? Because what's needed is to change one's perception on how it is that we're approaching the situation, or what it is that we're investing in, and what we're hoping to get out of what it is that we're investing in. And looking at the Five of Wands and the reverse, and more or less what the benefits of this would be, it can prevent, the word that's on my tongue is catastrophe, so let's go with it. So you guys taking the time to really look at this can prevent a catastrophe. And I feel this is kind of coming out like this because this is very much for me going two different ways. So in essence, what we're talking about here, we're talking about a person who's with a person who's completely unrelenting or uncompromising and wanting to have a healthy, balanced, stable relationship with a person who is completely unrelenting and uncompromising. Now, if you're dealing with a person who's relentless and uncompromising, do you really think 1 + 1 = 2 in the sense that you'd have a, you know, reciprocal, balanced, give and take relationship with a person who's relenting and uncompromising? You got to be realistic about that, right? So how this would be ending conflict is conflict between you and this person, and conflict within yourself, trying to get blood from a turnip, in so many words, right? Another way to look at this is, if you feel heavily that this resonates in reference to your own behavior, meaning that you're someone who's been hurt a lot in your life, you've been through a lot in your past, and you have a partner that's trying to open up to you, and you're very guarded and you're fully aware that you're guarded. Not that this is the first person that you dated who ever said that you're guarded and you won't open up, but this is something that you have a pattern of behavior of people consistently telling you that you approach relationships from a very cerebral standpoint, and you're very guarded, you don't trust people, you don't open up, and things of the sort. So if you feel that it resonates with you in that way, then it's more or less this renewal with the Star card to be in the sense of you relinquishing this old mindset because it's not giving you the outcome that you're desiring. It's not conducive to building a relationship that's stable and secure. And that would stop a lot of conflict in your current partnership if you release this old mindset, because it's maladaptive and outdated and is no longer serving you, your partnership, or what it is that you're trying to work towards in the future. You feel what I'm saying? Because I feel it's kind of an energy of spinning someone's wheels, and that's on both sides. For the person who feels this is their behavior, you're spinning your wheels because you understand why stuff not working out, and it's kind of like because you closed off. And then for others of you, things aren't working out because the person you're with is completely closed off. So wherever that falls, if this is your behavior we're talking about, you have complete control over that. So of course you can change your behavior. But when we're talking about in the sense of should we stay or should we go, if you're dealing with a partner that's like this, it's like you can't change their behavior, but you can change yours. So if we're talking about your person here, you know, it's on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving you information away. But that's been your reading. I hope it's been helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments. I like these, man. I like that it's just, you know what I'm saying? I can block out all the other energy that I'm getting and just focus on what we're talking about. I dig it. But I love your freaking face. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Deuces.